What's up, Pen Man? How you doing, y'all? Finna check out when Dub reacts before he was famous. You know what I'm saying? I meant to been check this out, like a lot of stuff, but yeah. So,
What happened? What?
yo.
What? What happened? Before Flight Reacts would inspire a Steph Curry meme that went so viral that even Curry himself hopped on the bandwagon.
Yeah, look at Curry, man. Just trying to do
Sports Center and everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, we gotta look at this like 10 times, man.
Just trying to do great things in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yo.
Yeah, look at Curry, man. Just trying to do great things.
That's about hand watching.
Hey, man, this is just inspirational,
look at Curry,
bro.
man.
Bro, I'm gonna watch this quick clip for like 5 minutes, bro. This is inspirational, bro. I don't care what anybody says, dog. This is lit.
Before Flight Reacts would have over 250,000 followers on Twitter, almost 400,000 followers on Twitch, close to 1 million followers on Instagram, and over 4 million combined subscribers between his two YouTube channels at the time of this recording. Before Flight Reacts would start dropping banging rap tracks of his own.
I don't think I remember to say that. He came a long way in music.
Has been around for
that first music was bad, but he came a long way since then.
For a minute, creating viral content for YouTube and other platforms. Now, my man's been holding down the fort since the early part of this decade, which is actually around the same time that I first started this channel as well. He's a brother from another mother, I tells ya. Now, the kid, he has blown up off his reaction videos from anything like trick shots.
He don't play all you want, but he a
I'm
dope.
so sweet. He got the sauce. He definitely got the sauce. How did he do that? Look how little room does he has.
Bro,
Look how much little room he has.
They always dying.
Bam!
It's time to eat. Let's fire up the grill.
Every time I'm gonna film something, my dang baby's about to die.
To women judging his looks.
Yeah, you know the man, girl.
They be hating though. They ain't gonna be hating by them.
So
And with his bigger-than-life personality, well, he's taken the internet by storm. And that's without even mentioning the series of content he posts involving sketches, basketball players, there's pranks, there's basketball players, there's video games, and yeah, well, even more basketball players. You know, during hard times like these, when the world doesn't have any sports, well, at least we still have Flight Reacts holding down the fort. Now, for this video, I was actually able to get in contact with the man, and he helped me out by answering a whole bunch of questions.
What?
So this one, it's kind of like a collab video.
Calm your horses, but who's ready to go? Because I am, bitch. Let's get it.
What's going on, guys? It's boy Michael McCrudden back at it again with a brand new Before They Were Famous, and this one was requested by you guys, a whole bunch of ya. Now, in the past, we've done similar videos on the likes of Chris Smooves, Corey X Kenshin, RDC World, and Love Live Surf. Now, of course, this show, it works off requests from you guys, so you gotta let me know who's next in the comments down below. You can also hit me up in the DMs at McCruddenM or at the number down below. But text me. Stop calling me. I can't be getting any sleep because you kids keep blowing me up. So just text, all right?
Sure say OVO.
Now let's get into this video. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell. Boom! Flight Reacts was born Kamani White on August 7th, 1995 in Washington, D.C. Now, Flight, he spent the first year of his life living in the D.C. area, but at the age of 1, his family would pick up and move to West Palm Beach, Florida, where he still lives to this day. Now, Flight's dad, he worked as a wedding photographer, while his mom, she stayed at home and held down the home front. He also has one sister who he's extremely close with. Now, Flight...
A wedding photographer, so that means if Flight ever get married, we could probably see his dad at the wedding. That'd be cool.
Flight's parents, they were always supportive of his
goals. Your dad should be at the wedding anyways, but anyways, yeah, I don't know.
And their hardworking nature, it inspired their children to stay focused and to keep out of trouble. At least for the time being. We're not there yet, because he does get in trouble. It's a little later in the story.
Usually, I'll always have the camera anywhere we go, but the way my parents are, they're very private with their lives, so unfortunately I will not be able to get nobody as soon as we get out this car on camera. But when we finish, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna check in with you guys. Hopefully she don't, you know, boo-boo herself too much or get too shaky or make, you know, herself look way too bad in what she's trying to make herself look. I'm trying to let her know that she has nothing to worry about. My parents are very welcoming people. They're old school, you know, they're really not people to just like really fear. Like, they keep it real just like every other parent.
That's not the point. I never met parents before.
Growing up, Flight's top two priorities, they were basketball and music.
Hey, Flight be trolling with his basketball though. He's actually really good, man. You see some of his older videos. Flight's actually really good at basketball. Like this is how Flight actually plays the truth. Like, you see this video right here, Flight be trolling, and then, like, you know, Soul ain't ready to it, Flight be trolling, man. Flight's actually good at basketball, but, you know, he decided to become a meme for
His biggest influences were Allen Iverson, Snoop Dogg, Fabulous, Chris Smoove, and of course, Stephen Curry.
Look at Curry, man.
Oh! That was a
360
pass!
wave buddies. I need to get me
Bro,
some
that
waves.
was a pass, bro! I've never seen that!
You need to be 360 wave buddies. I need to do something with my hair so I can get some waves,
from
man.
kindergarten to grade 2. He then moved on to Chloe Lake Elementary from grade 3 through 5 before arriving at Okeely Middle School for grade 6 through 8.
The heck?
Okeely? I guess it doesn't sound that strange. Whatever. Florida people. Now, Flight, he found elementary and middle school to be a rough time in his youth. There was a lot of gangs, there were fights, there were drugs, and violence that intersected with his daily life. Now, he was bullied a lot in grade 4 and grade 6 because of trivial things like the type of shoes he wore.
Dang.
Officer, I got one question for you. What are those?
It's 2020, man. Why are we making them one of those jokes?
One day while walking home from school in grade 7, while Flight, he was jumped by a gang and attacked.
Dang.
Now, it turned out to be a case of mistaken
Why
identity.
like that?
The intended target was someone else who just looked like him. But, while the damage...
Bro, Flight, bro, are you serious? This actually happened, Flight? Like, dang, bro. Flight had the most interesting and eventful life, bro.
It had already been done.
Flight probably joking. He probably capping, bro. That man said he was attacked by a gang. Someone looked like Flight.
To make matters worse, well, his
Make it
dad,
happen,
he also
but I don't
lost
know.
his job around this same time, and he was out of work for close to a year. Now, at this point, everything in his home
Dang.
life, it was becoming very difficult, and Flight, he took it out by acting at school like a punk. He would get into fights, he would run his mouth at the teachers. He'd basically just turned into the guy he's not today. You know what I mean? Like a troublemaker. Like a prick. Like a kid with a chip on his shoulder. You know, it happens.
Okay, if you pass it, which means in her terms of passing, it's a D, which actually
I ain't worrying about
technically
this
is a
thing no
passing.
more.
If I
keep
get
trying
a
to
60 or higher,
mess
she's
with
not
it.
gonna call my
The
mom.
way it's stretched out and stuff,
she's
and
gonna
it
call
keeps
my
messing
mom
up
right
on
after.
me.
She said I was gonna be the first one out of 35 degrees.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I got a 78. I didn't get anything higher than a 75. That was my highest test score on a math quiz or test that year, dude.
But Flight's next chapter would come to define his life to this point. Now, Flight's mother, she transferred him to newly built Palm Beach Central High School, and it was her hope that the school would offer her son better influence and keep him out of trouble. Now, her gambit had paid off in the 9th grade. Flight joined his first and only basketball team. It was something he deeply enjoyed doing, but unfortunately, midway through the season, he got a high ankle sprain, and he couldn't play in any more games.
Let's go, Flight team.
Some of this before they're famous kind of cap. Flight probably still good.
Too long.
That beat though. Okay.
During the downtime he spent healing while Flight, he became depressed from not being able to shoot hoops and partake in one activity that was keeping him off the streets and, you know, like out of trouble. So he started smoking weed during that summer heading into grade 10, and as this habit picked up, well, his...
Dang, that's where Flight's habit of smoking weed came from. It's actually kind of sad, man. It's like I don't never see a mean joke of Flight ever again, if that's the case.
Grades, they began to drop. His GPA, it fell as low as 1.6, and he was rendered ineligible to return to the basketball team because of his poor academics. Now, Flight, he tried to fill in this hole in his life by taking on part-time jobs. So first he got a gig working at Steak and Shake, but he soon got let go from that job for showing up at work high all the time, and then he would mess up everyone's order. Next, he tried his hand at working at Chick-fil-A, but that gig, it didn't turn out any better. Now, Flight, he was out of that job in 4 months' time. Now, it was during all this that Flight, he first came by the handle that the world would one day call him by. Now, as he continued to attend most of his classes in the 10th grade high, people around school, they started dubbing him as Flight because he was always on flight.
Start from the bottom, now we start from the ground, now he in the air, he flight react.
Whenever they saw him, the guy was high as a kite, so Flight, it makes sense. Now, as difficult a moment as it was in Flight's life, well, it was actually a bit of a blessing in disguise, because with all this downtime, well, he started gaming a lot more and watching YouTube, where he fell in love with content creators like Chris Smoove. Now, watching these videos, it inspired Flight to create his own content, and when he realized that someone could take a hobby and actually make a career out of it, well, the guy was on a brand new path.
I actually started off YouTube about 4 years ago, around that time, and my original account was called Mr. Big Boy 305. And when I had first made a YouTube account, I actually didn't start off making videos. I actually rather did NBA mixes.
I wasn't with Flight from the beginning, but I did. I wanted to see how Flight actually was back in the day, because I'd be hearing a lot about he just trolling, and Flight used to be good at ball. So I looked at a bunch of stuff, like his old basketball videos and his old just videos in general, and it's like, yeah, Flight was pretty different back then. So that's what it came up to me that it was like 100% true. Cause I had a feeling he might be trolling. I was like, you know, he plays basketball so much, and he says he's so good at basketball. No one can be this delusional, you know. No one can be this bad. Like, I'm not really a crazy basketball player either. I don't play basketball at all, so I would most likely lose to most people. But like, at the same time, you know, I'm not I'm not delusional about it to the point where I'm thinking I'm a god, and it's not like Flight, who constantly plays basketball and seemed to never really be good at it. And it was like, wait, okay, this dude gotta be trolling. There's no possible way this dude could be the worst ball player on planet Earth. This man losing blind people and such. And the truth is, he's actually pretty good at ball. Like, you know, and you know, by June he's probably gonna stop trolling. And I don't know why I was looking over here. But he's probably going to stop trolling and actually show his skills that he actually has. You know, he's just going to play it off saying, I was trained the whole time.
And the tutorial mixes on just different things in life.
Now, Flight would hold off on chasing his dreams until after graduating high school, which came a little bit later than it does for most. Now, with his low GPA and after having failed his FCAT reading state test, well, it took Flight well into his 5th year at Palm Beach Central High School to graduate. Now, Flight, he worked his ass off to get those numbers back up and looking respectful. And he worked hard enough that he was worked his ass off to get those numbers back up.
Dang, Flight had a clean suit. I see you, Dut. I see you, Flight. That's Flight. Flight know how to dress, bro.
And looking respectful. And he worked hard enough that he was even accepted into Palm Beach State College. Good for him. Which he attended for 1 month before he dropped out to pursue the career that he knew was already calling his name. Now, working off his own muscle while Flight, he got his YouTube channel, Not Your Average Flight, and FlightReacts off the ground and soaring. Sorry for the pun, but I just had to. Now, at first, a lot of his content, it was video game related. We're talking 2K and NBA Live.
Not your average Flight coming at you when it's time to get right. Coming into a My Team game, road to the playoffs. Adjusting my lineup, I'm looking at his lineup. His lineup's looking a little iffy, and my lineup's looking a little spiffy. But let's see, you can't judge a book by its cover, so hey, well, the game will determine who is a better team.
But it was the videos in which he put his personality front and center that really began to pay off for Flight.
Can I get a Netflix and chill for anybody lost in the world? hate talking about stuff like this, man.
Before he knew it, Flight was a bona fide YouTube personality and pulling in hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views on the regular. Now, Flight's clout had exploded so much so that he even began dating rapper T.I. from Taylor Girls throughout 2017 and 2018. And this was a relationship that he documented heavily on his channel.
Lick the other person's forehead.
Wait, I lick your forehead or you lick my forehead?
I think this is for both of us. When it's a dare, I think it's for both of us. Okay. That was the most sexiest lick I've seen.
What?
Now, Flight's come up and has been so prolific that he's also got fans out there who are looking to make sure he winds up on the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, playing next out there who
FlightReacts the GOAT! The GOAT! FlightReacts, a famous basketball player. Hold up. Give FlightReacts a 10-day contract with the Golden State Warriors. Dang, bro. Almost 10,000 wrote it. FlightReacts is a famous basketball YouTuber. His lifelong dream to meet Golden State Warriors point guard Stephen Curry. Look at Curry, man. So inspirational. FlightReacts was one of the most influential people on YouTube. Upload basketball videos. Getting a 10-day contract from his favorite team would be an achievement. Meeting his favorite player would be a dream come true for him. FlightReacts are much needed with the Warriors. That's facts. The best basketball player alive. Having a down year. That's facts though. Even if Flight isn't on that level, you know, he stops trolling. Even if Flight stops trolling, I don't think he's on that level. But Flight still, you know, would bring in money for them. You know, like the idea of Flight playing on the team would definitely like get more extra views. Sometime around June, and Flight skills will be top notch. Yo, is this real, bruh? The fans are you know, they went crazy.
who are looking to make sure he winds up on the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, playing next to his favorite player of all time, Steph Curry. Man, I don't know if it'll happen. I guess if there were a season for it to happen, this is it. I mean, there isn't even an NBA, you know what I mean?
Hey man, this is just inspirational,
look at
bro.
Curry, man.
Bro, I'm gonna watch this clip for like 5 minutes, bro. This is inspirational, bro. I don't care what anybody
Flight's
says.
very inspirational.
This is
Like no
lit.
joke.
Even if it's only for a 10-day contract during a season that's been more or less canceled, well, I still think he'd take it. And do you think he's got a shot in hell? Let me know if you think so in the comments down below. Be interested to hear what you guys have to say. As for the rest of the story, well, I think I'm going to wrap this one up here because this is before they're famous. My name is Mike McCrudden, but you already know that. Thank you so much to FlightReacts for getting back to our questions. We hope he shares this video so more people can find it. And you guys got to let us know who's next in the comments down below. Also, if my hair's wacky, it's because I can't get it cut. There's nothing I can do. And I'm filming these videos all by myself. There's no one working the camera, no one working the audio. And we do this every day. So I'm falling apart here, people. All right, I'll see you guys in another video. Boom!
It's like full circle, man. Just like Flight, full circle. It took me a whole vid. I started the vid halfway through, and I ended the vid finishing that slushy off, man. Flight so inspirational. Like I'm being like funny about saying that, but it's also true. You know, soar towards your dreams. You know, believe you can fly, man. Just believe in yourself. Just look at Flight, man. Just look at him. Yeah. So yeah, good, well put video. Peace, like, subscribe. Well, I'm gonna check out Dante one. I'll stick to the next one. Oh, they actually. Oh, there was a. Yeah.